Welcome to Tallahassee. Mike Patrick, Craig James with you. Boston College and Florida State. BC comes in at 2-3, struggling. They'll need to run the ball this afternoon to take some of the heat off of their freshman quarterback, Chase Reddick. Florida State on a roll, Craig, for the first time in a long, long while. They're very excited here.
We were here 3 weeks ago when they played Wake Forest, and the word Jimbo Fisher used with us was consistency. He wants to find out if this program can do it week in and week out. This is a classic example of a program that is good, but Jimbo's got a team that has to dominate today like they should. This is an inexperienced Boston College team, yet a team that has talent and an excellent coaching staff.
Jimbo Fisher in his first year, he's been on a roll since that loss at Oklahoma. And Frank Spaziani on the other side, the well-respected Boston College head coach who, like Fisher, waited his turn, bided his time, and finally got the opportunity. He's very disappointed with the way things have gone this year. He's tried to find a quarterback out of 3 different guys. It's been difficult, and they have not run the ball the way they normally have run the ball at Boston College. Dustin Hopkins, one of the best kickoff men in the nation, to kick to Gauze and Fox. Gauze 2 yards deep, he'll bring it out. DeLeon Gauze cut down at the 15-yard line. Chase Reddick will be the starting quarterback out of Sierra Madre, California. The freshman, 6'3", 210. He has thrown 10 passes in his brief career, completed 5 of those against Notre Dame before he sprained an ankle. A lot of pressure on this young man to start this game. His running back is Montel Harris. Harris gets the call on first down, and Harris straight up the middle. He's gone. Can they catch him from behind? Montel Harris chased down at the 12-yard line by Greg Reed, but he went 73 yards. Well, we said they've had trouble running the ball. 73 yards is only 16 yards short of what they normally do in a game.
Harris last year nearly 1,500 yards on the ground. This offensive line, 4 of 5 come back. The strength of Boston College. A really nice start against the Florida State defense that normally doesn't lose gap responsibility.
Boy, they lost at that time, and Harris, who's had great success, just went through. There's a busted play, and Reddick is buried back at the 17-yard line. Brandon Jenkins led the charge.
Just goes to show you, coming into this football game, everybody thought and assumed that Florida State's defense would dominate this game. You have to kick it, you have to block, and you have to tackle.
The new defensive coordinator this year, Mark Stoops, has made a difference. He has a top 12 rush defense. He has a top 16 scoring defense. But Boston College hits him for the big play on first down. Harris again. No room this time. There is also a marker down at the line of scrimmage.
Illegal motion. Offense. Number 87. Penalty is declined. 3rd down.
Lars Anderson, one of the tight ends.
Now, when you look at this Boston College offense, the offensive line led by their left tackle, Anthony Costanzo. Not only is Costanzo a good football player, he's a Rhodes Scholarship candidate. Backs and receivers, you've seen what Harris can do. Somebody has to step up on the outside and catch passes from this young quarterback, Chase Reddick.
He's got a big arm. Enrolled early, was able to go through spring ball. Pfeiffer checks in as an additional back. Pressure coming. Reddick throws. Dropped by Pfeiffer. Had him open in the flat. Probably wouldn't have resulted in much. So Boston College is going to have to try to settle for a field goal after getting that huge break on first down with a 72-yard run.
Mike, I tell you what, it might not have been a first down, but it would have been a completion. And early in this game, having success throwing for this young quarterback, Reddick, you can't drop balls like that.
This will be a 33-yard try for Nate Freeze. who's hit 8 out of 10 this year. And Freeze knocks it through, so they capitalize on the big play. Officially 72 yards for Montel Harris, by far his longest run of the year, and it's 3-0 Eagles. Boston College with a surprising early lead. Harris with the big 72-yard run to set it up, and Greg Reed, who made the saving tackle, is back to return this kickoff. And how important will Reed's hustle be? I mean, obviously, he had to make up a lot of ground, but he had the speed to do it and save the touchdown.
Yep.
High, short, spinning kick taken by one of the up men at the 25 and returned to the 32-yard line. Lonnie Pryor, the fullback, came up with it. Christian Ponder, who has thrown 10 touchdown passes this year compared to only 4 interceptions, and is moving up the Florida State list for career achievements at quarterback, throws his first pass and has it complete to Rodney Smith.
Ponder's really lucky this season to have an offensive line as strong as they have. Rodney Hudson on the left guard spot, 62, and this whole unit outstanding. We'll chronicle their progress today. Have our EA video with that. The backs and the receivers, they're very strong too. 3 different running backs. Jermaine Thomas gets the start. Burt Reed is an all-around player, and this is a football team that has shown that they can score a lot of points in a hurry.
Chris Thompson is the running back. Ponder throws again to Smith. Can't hold this one out at the 40-yard line.
Defensively, Boston College will have their hands full. The defensive line, Alex Albright, he's finally getting back and healthy and on track. 7 tackles for losses. Linebackers, they've got a really good one there. Luke Kuechly, you watch number 40 today. He's all over the place. Everybody knows about Mark Herzlich and his cancer survival and what he's done there. And in the secondary, Jim Knoll gets the start today. Dominic LeGrand suspended by the team for rules violations.
The linebackers, the strength of this defense. Deep out, almost picked. That pass stayed in the air a long time, and it was Jim Noel who nearly got the interception, getting the start today because of LeGrand's suspension. That was not a good throw by Ponder.
Should have been picked. And you know what? This is a Boston College football team who told us and has talked about it since August that they're really close to being a good team. Their quarterback position has held them back. You know, a play like that, a start like this, gives confidence to the Eagles.
Powell to kick to Gauze. There's a good punt return. Driven all the way back to the 10. And reaches just short of the 15-yard line, taken down by Mike Harris out of Miami, Florida. 4-yard return after a punt of 54. Jimbo Fisher took over at Florida State with one mission: restore the program to elite status. Last week he sent a message: the Seminoles are back. Just ask Miami if you don't believe it. The Hurricanes were dominated 45-17 in South Florida, and for the first time since 2005, this Florida State program is the highest rated football team in the state of Florida.
And right now, as of today, I think they're the best team in the state of Florida, not just through the rankings, but they've got a chance after beating Miami like they did so soundly last week to make a statement in the state later on when they play the University of Florida.
Jimbo Fisher, the longtime offensive coordinator in college football, became the coach in waiting behind Bobby Bowden, took over this year. Boston College needs some good quarterback play from Reddick today. Gives to Harris again, and Harris with another big hole across the 30 to the 33. And Florida State has already given up more yards than they average giving up the entire ball game. Kendall Smith made the tackle. That's 86 yards rushing, most of it from Harris, who has done damage to this defense before.
Left side of the offensive line, Costanzo. This dude caved down a very talented Florida State defensive line. And the thing about Harris, when he puts his foot in the ground, he's gaining ground.
Draw play, Harris again. Another gaping hole right up the middle, and Harris breaks free one more time. Down to the 20-yard line. This kid was a workhorse a year ago when he rushed for 1,457 yards. He may get that today. That was for 49.
This rush defense is allowing only 94 yards a game on the ground, but you see Boston College's offensive line totally dominating Florida State's interior. That hasn't happened over the last 4 weeks. Florida State's defensive line has made them really good. They've been very active. It's not happening this afternoon at this point.
Costanzo, the left tackle, not only an Outland and Lombardi candidate, he's a Rhodes Scholar candidate. And may very well before we're done, but this is Reddick back to throw for the corner. Threw it into what was basically triple coverage, and Xavier Rhodes was over there to knock it down.
All right, you get down here in this red zone area. Field gets shorter. Florida State's defense, led by Mark Stoops, their defensive coordinator, they will change it up. Mark hates to sit back and get hit in the mouth in the red zone. He likes to become aggressive and attack.
Reddick, the true freshman, has Harris back in the ball game as his tailback on 2nd and 10. Harris again. This time hit at the line of scrimmage and swallowed up. Mr. Alexander was the first man to hit him, number 16, and then he got help.
You called his name, Mr. Alexander, number 16, and the way he feels this right side of your screen, right side of the offensive line, feels his hole, knows where the ball carrier's going, gets there. That's how Florida State's defense up front has been playing over the last several weeks.
Reddick has yet to throw a touchdown pass in his brief college career. He has one pick. Throws for the corner. Moma got a hand on it, couldn't hold it. Xavier Rhodes may have also gotten a hand on it and knocked it away. So here comes the field goal unit again. A small victory for the Seminole defense, but only a small one. They've been chewed up pretty well so far.
Yeah, in this secondary, extremely intelligent. This defense is coached well. They know where routes are going. They understand where the passing lanes are. Reddick's got to be careful today throwing those balls down the field like that when you've got someone who can jump underneath in coverage.
Freeze is hit from 33. This will be from 37. So Boston College on the strength of the running game. They came into this game 110th in the country in rushing out of 120 teams. Not today. Boston College and Montel Harris with 2 field goals here in the first quarter, and they have a surprising 6-0 lead over the heavy favored Seminoles of Florida State. Another high short kick. Looks like they're trying to pooch it and keep it away from Reed. And the Seminoles will start from their own 38-yard line there. Lonnie Pryor, the fullback, with his second return. Florida State without a first down. And Ponder comes out, throws to Reed, flanker screen. There's the first down and more as Reed is run out of bounds at midfield.
This is Jimbo Fisher doing a nice job with his formation to get the opportunity to play action and the movement all to the right side of the field, leaving a one-on-one with Burt Reed. Burt Reed leads the team with 28 receptions. You get him one-on-one, you're going to have big plays.
They've gotten good production out of he and Halstead and Easterling so far this year. Catch made by Halstead at the 46-yard line, taken down by Donnie Fletcher.
I'm not so certain they didn't get 2 or 3 yards, a favorable spot on that ball, because as the receiver came down, he didn't have quite possession at that point where they're giving him the mark.
And you have to have possession to have forward progress, Mark, but you're right.
Yeah, just a matter of time before old Christian Ponder gets heated up. Trading 3s instead of 6s for that BC team may come back to haunt them.
Seminoles can get some points. Ponder again to Smith. He's run out of bounds at the Boston College 37 for a first down. And the more numbers that Ponder racks up in his senior year, he says the less important it is to him. Said he used to look at all the national statistics and try to get his name further up, more touchdown passes, more yards, more completions. Now he says, I realize, not about me, it's about us. Let's just go out and win. Ponder on the option. Thomas out of bounds at the 2. A 24-yard run.
Zebri Sanders, number 77, big offensive tackle. Looks like he steps out, but 77 Sanders, because of his effort and putting pressure on the defensive back to keep going back further towards the goal line, that allowed the ball carrier another 5-8 yards closer to that goal line.
Thomas stays in as the tailback. First and goal. Thomas may have lost a yard. Defensive end Brad Newman was right there and turned him back inside where he got plenty of help.
Boston College, this team showed up today. You can tell, in a well-coached football team. And that's the one thing that you knew for certain coming in here.
Absolutely.
That's Coach Spaz and the experience on his staff would have them technically and emotionally ready to play.
And one of the reasons Florida State came out throwing the ball is Boston College is the 5th-ranked running defense in the country. Ponder to the flat. Catch and a touchdown. Pryor, the fullback, what a catch. He's got to reach both hands out, make the catch, then twist his body and get the ball inside the pylon.
When you have an athlete as talented as Lonnie Pryor playing fullback, that is athleticism, body control, good hands. Hard to account for a fullback that athletic if you're on defense.
The last 16 times FSU has been in the red zone, they have scored every time. 12 touchdowns and 4 field goals. That was some catch by Pryor and his 3rd receiving touchdown of the season. The Seminoles, after falling behind on 2 field goals, gain the lead. The mood is a little better in Tallahassee on Parents' Weekend as Florida State finally has taken the lead over Boston College with 1:19 to go first quarter. The Seminoles come in heavily favored, have given up 2 big drives on long runs by Boston College, both of which resulted in field goals. DeLeon Gauze and Chris Fox are deep for the kickoff of Dustin Hopkins, who has 23 touchbacks and 42 kicks this year. Most of his other kicks have reached the end zone. This one taken at the 1. Gauze cut down at the 18-yard line. Thank you, Reese. Harris will gain a couple. That Florida State defense just getting closer and closer to the line of scrimmage. In a minute, you're going to have an 11-man front, and Chase Reddick has got to do something as a quarterback to counter that.
Yeah, you know what? Just the quick throws. It's got to be quick. Get rid of it. You know, you're going to play in a box, but at least get outside the tackle box area with the ball.
Reddick back to throw. There's the quick throw. Got it to the tight end Anderson, and Lars Anderson appears to have enough for a first down just across the 28-yard line. That can take some of the pressure off.
Yeah, and Lars Anderson is an H-back tight end hybrid kind of player, but you saw the motion by the coordinator. Okay, let's motion him so they can't get set defensively quite right, and then throw a quick flat pass to get our first down.
Gary Tranquill, the offensive coordinator, trying to give this true freshman quarterback some things he can handle that'll take some pressure off the running game. Quick throw to Harris, trying to get him out in space, and he is drilled as he got to the 30.
Now, you know, and Florida State fans know this well, but for those who haven't followed them so closely, this defense is showing you a significant difference than it used to be in the past.
Absolutely.
In the way that they're disciplined, the way they get to the football. It looks like the original years with Mickey Andrews. Great defensive line, getting to the ball.
End of the first quarter. It's a one-point game in Tallahassee. Welcome back to Tallahassee. We get ready to start the second quarter in a one-point game. Frank Spaziani and his coaching staff trying to work with freshman quarterback Chase Reddick. One of 3 quarterbacks they have tried this year. Go with a draw play that's going to come up short with Andre Williams. And now let's take a look at the Bud Light playbook, Frank.
Just missed opportunities. I'm going to go back because this is such an important part of the football game. 3rd and short. Spaz and the offense has an opportunity. They've got a play they've worked on. You have to think they probably are successful there because they had a chance to get a unique play on the field. Had to call a timeout. Can't get the 3rd and short. Have to punt the ball. Florida State went down the field and scored a touchdown.
It's got to be one of the great frustrations of coaching. You work on something all week and you call it at what you think is the right time, and you can't even get the play off. Reddick back to throw, sideline, incomplete, intended for Bobby Swigert, who has started to turn into a big play receiver, but he was well covered and Reddick missed him.
Oh man, what great coverage though. You know, they went to the pistol formation there, Boston College did. And Reddick's throwing out into the flat, and these corners and this secondary so well coached. When they get bunched up out there, Stoops tells them, all right, whoever goes to the flat, you stay with him, whether it's the 1 or 2 receiver. So they're not going to be fooled by the bunch formation.
Kuechly to punt to the very dangerous read. Line drive kick, returnable. Breaks 1 tackle. Trying to get to the outside, nowhere to go, and Reed really made a mess of that when a young man averaging 16 yards a return is buried for a loss of 16.
Yeah, how about that? Almost a 20-yard field change right there.
Florida State on top of Boston College 7-6 here in the second quarter. Tallahassee. That loss on the punt return puts them back inside the 10. Ponder, long time to throw for Smith, and he's picked off. Inside position for Donnie Fletcher, and he played it like he was the receiver and made the catch.
Absolutely outstanding athletic ability. Fletcher now has 3 interceptions on the year. Ponder's not supposed to throw this ball. This is having too much confidence in your wide receiver. You have to sometimes realize that the other guys over there are good too. I don't care how big and tall 6'6" Rodney Smith is. When you've got a defensive back like Fletcher, who's 6'1" and uses his body, he too can go make the play.
If your receiver's to the outside, you got to throw the ball to the outside. And what a job that they have done at Boston College with picks since 2000, number 2 in the country from their secondary. Harris back to the ground game, gains maybe 1. Xavier Rode up from the corner to make a quick tackle. And there's no respect right now for the passing game. It's all let's stop the run for Florida State.
A true freshman in Chase Reddick. 10 attempts coming into the game, so you don't want to be throwing on first down. When you've had the success on the ground that you have, chipping away at 1 and 2 on first down, a lot better than an incompleted pass on first down or an interception.
He is only 2 out of 6 for 10 yards. But you need time, as you said. Reddick again under pressure, throws. Harris can't get it. And Bradham was right there, and the pressure was coming again from Brandon Jenkins, who already has 2 of the Seminoles' 3 sacks.
I think here's a little light bulb going on for Reddick. Watch his feet. He's feeling the pressure in the pocket, and he's trying to buy a little bit more time. That tells me that he's feeling and understanding it. You know, that internal clock he's recognizing now. It's not just looking at the receiver and forgetting you got the rush. He's starting to put it together.
Well, Jenkins, whatever he put together, Jenkins almost knocked out of him.
It's amazing what fear will do for you. Feet move.
It's a great motivator. Straight four-man rush. Pressure comes again. Redding. Incomplete. What a defensive play out there by Parks. The strong safety got to Pantelli, and he couldn't make the catch.
Being out in open field in a big, tall, 6'6" tight end, holding and controlling your body, you see that right hand. They teach it here, Pantelli, to stay away from. I don't know if he didn't have his right hand on the shoulder pad there. That might have been a little premature contact.
Well, it was a heck of a play, whatever it was. That's a big safety, too, at 6'2", 218. Reed's going to let this one go, and another coffin corner beauty from Ryan Kuechly, who is really putting on a display when he gets a chance to kick the ball inside the 20.
Sparty struggling, huh? I tell you what, Saturdays are interesting.
And Illinois isn't bad at all. Ponder on the run, throws back against the grain, has it complete to Easterling. Taiwan Easterling, who has become his favorite receiver, the guy he's going to go to in a pinch. It was a nice throw by Ponder and a very patient play.
Boston College's secondary got caught admiring the effort by Ponder getting to the side, and they forgot to stay covering the wide receiver. Now Ponder, it shows you right there the kind of athleticism he has and the wits about him to buy the time to find his receiver.
Ponder again. Rolls to the near side, completes this pass.
Ponder's pass complete to number 35.
Greg Dent makes the grab. And a good play action fake by Ponder.
Getting it done through the air. Christian Ponder's going to have to loosen up this Boston College defense. The rush defense been outstanding today. And if you don't make a tackle when you have a chance in the open space against Florida State, they'll make you pay for it.
Ponder throws. Reed makes the catch to the 41. Jimbo Fisher says there is not a throw in the playbook that Christian Ponder cannot make.
That whole idea of a bend but don't break defense mentality, which is what Bill McGovern has, he says is okay as long as you don't give up the big play, because you give up the big play, the bending part's over with.
Seminoles have made it to the 42-yard line, time becoming a factor, 2:29 and counting. Thompson hitting the backfield. We took a shot from Wes Davis, the free safety, who was right at the line of scrimmage.
Man, did you just the way Davis got up in there before the blocker could get to him? Burt Reed wanted to block. That was his responsibility. But Davis didn't wait to get blocked. He went to the ball carrier.
Boy, that was a shot. Lost maybe half a yard, and Ponder will go to the shotgun. Blitz coming. Ponder still has time and throws too high for Greg Dent.
Ponder's pass incomplete intended for number 35, Greg Dent.
The success on first down, when you go to 2nd and 10, it just and then you see Bill McGovern, the D coordinator, he brought the corner blitz off the top, trying to disrupt the eyes and the timing of the play. And it gets them to a 3rd and 10. Now it's up to their defense on 3rd down to do something against Ponder.
You know, Craig, this is a Florida State team that has scored 34, 31, 34, and 45 in the last 4 weeks. They're not used to being handled like this. Blitz coming again. Ponder chased out of the pocket. Throws on the run, complete. Easterling. 25, 20. 19-yard line and a first down. The athleticism again of Christian Ponder results in a gain of 23.
Boston College has to rethink their blitzing. They've got to contain and make Ponder stay in the pocket. You see the great effort by Easterling down the field of staying aware of where Ponder was and staying in front of him with his sight line. BC can't allow Ponder to get out of the pocket. They got to make him stay back there and hurt him in the middle of the field.
Came with a blitz and lost contain. Ponder again, short set and throws the slant, incomplete. Intended for Reed. Now a flag comes. It's going to be interference on DeLeon Gauze.
Pass interference. Defense, number 9. Ball will be placed at spot of foul. Automatic first down.
Now I think Spaz has issue with this, but the ball is there. It's a bang play. Yeah. I think Spaz is probably reflecting back to the previous call on his big tight end and that flat what we thought could have been premature contact. That's probably what he's complaining about. Same kind of play.
His tight end, Bo Relaford, wide open, and Ponder with the perfect throw. It's a beautifully executed drive by Christian Ponder. Hopkins for the point after. And one of the best kickers in America is true on the point after. Well, you can bet Frank Spaziani's going to tell him, it's a one-possession game, guys. We got a shot at this. Our score at halftime, Florida State 14, Boston College 6. Now we send you to Reese Davis in the Bud Light halftime report. Reese, we're at the half. Florida State leading Boston College 14-6. A surprisingly close score here in Tallahassee. Welcome back, everybody. Glad to have you with us on a perfect Saturday afternoon from Tallahassee. Boston College really putting up a great effort.
And Spaziani told us this week, he said, if we can keep it close till the fourth quarter and give ourselves a chance, then we will have been successful. They've done that through the first half. Third quarter, very important for Boston College's defense to come back and play like they did in the first half. They were outstanding.
Can their offense do anything? I mean, they've taken away the run now.
With a true freshman quarterback, Reddick, you're going to really hope that your ground game can do something for you. If not, depending on Reddick to throw the football against this Florida State defense, it's going to be a long afternoon.
Florida State will get the ball first, leading 14-6.
Dave Reed. He's received for Florida State, number 5, Greg Reed.
Reed is deep. They'll finally kick one deep instead of pooching it, and he's back to the goal line. 20. 25 and forced out of bounds as he retreats to the 23-yard line. If you joined us late, Boston College came out its first 2 possessions and ran the ball exceptionally well against Florida State. Harris had 2 huge runs, and they racked up 164 yards in the first half, which is about twice what Florida State normally gives up in an entire game. Out of the eye, Thompson, the deep man. Ponder at the quarterback. Play action fake. Ponder with time, and he's picked. Intercepted by Jim Noel, who was only starting because Dominic LeGrand was suspended for breaking a team rule, and he has had a big game.
Mike, it's so important when you watch this play to look at the adjustments Boston College made at halftime. They will not lose containment here. Mark Herzlich, look at 54, stay to the outside. He would not let Ponder venture out there. That was what hurt them in the first half. Made him pull up and throw the football. Didn't allow the scramble and the extended period of time to have to cover for receivers to come open.
And Ponder missed whatever coverage was underneath, threw the ball anyway, and that was an easy pick. Reddick, the freshman quarterback, to Harris on the toss. And Harris down to the 11-yard line. In this situation in the first half, Boston College drive stalled. They had to settle for field goals. They could really use a touchdown off of this break.
It's just so hard to run the ball into the end zone against this Florida State defense down in the goal line area because they're disciplined, number one, and they're strong inside with their defensive tackles who usually get pushed.
Reddick fakes it this time to Harris. Throws on the run, incomplete. It was intended for his tight end Pantelli, but he was covered beautifully by Moody.
One thing that you have noticed this year in following Florida State's defense is that in coverage, they are on you. They're with you. And they are really schooled up with how they get there, and they put that hand to distract, not swat, but distract the ball coming that way. That's now 6 different pass breakups by this defense on the day.
Huge third down here for the freshman Chase Reddick. Blitz coming. They want to put some pressure on him. Reddick for the end zone. Right in the hands of Greg Reed. He couldn't hold it. Reddick threw behind his man and nearly a back-breaking turnover.
Trying to force a football in there. You're going to have to force it against this secondary and the way they cover. Reddick really lucky that he doesn't get thrown. There's 3 different Florida State defenders waiting on that football, and Greg Reed, normally a very dependable, sure-handed player, comes down with that ball.
Moma was the intended receiver, but it needed to get through 3 garnet and gold jerseys to get to him. Freeze will try from 28 yards. He's already connected from 33 and 39. And Freeze now 11 out of 13 on the season. And Boston College creeps back to within 5. Boston College really making a game out of it this afternoon. They have closed it within 5 points against the Florida State team that came into this ball game on a huge roll. Reed again deep to receive. Boston College has had 3 drives stalled in the red zone and had to settle for field goals. Here's another pooch kick. And Pryor, the fullback, up to take it for the 3rd time today. They're really trying to keep the ball away from Reed. No, his passes to the outside have floated today. Thompson taken down at the Boston College 49-yard line. Gain of 1. So it'll be 2nd and 4.
You talk about the enthusiasm of this team coming off that big win against Miami. You know, they've got some time now after this ball game to regroup and get their energy back. But I think it's more that it's a good defense. It's a good defensive effort today by Boston College.
Absolutely.
Probably more than an emotional letdown.
Well, FSU's not been able to run the ball today. They've only gained 19 yards on 13 tries. The majority of their damage has come from Ponder through the air. Go back to the ground game here with Jones, and he's down to the 45 right at the sticks. Back to action here in Tallahassee, and Smith with a catch from Ponder and uses a forearm to get another 5, 6, 7 yards. Nice throw by Ponder that time.
Nice job by Rodney Smith, 6'6", 222, using that body to kind of drive and take advantage of a smaller defensive back. But good play call, Jimbo Fisher, moving the pocket around. And at some point you have to wonder, will this Boston College defense start to fatigue a little bit?
Smith's a pretty good target at 6'6", isn't he?
Ooh. They say he's got lots of potential. It's still a wide receiver group that you could say has a lot of upside. They've got room to grow.
Able to do it again here. Ponder with time, now pressured, throws off balance, incomplete. Intended for Smith, and Smith well covered by Pierre Lewis.
You were talking about him a while ago. You're starting to about the talented recruit and how he came in here.
He's just a big-time kid, Gatorade Player of the Year in Connecticut, and they've had a lot of success on defense because of the linebacking core. You add him to Kuechly and Herzlich, you got a pretty good group. And Herzlich right now just a shadow of what he was 2 years ago. Still recovering from all the treatment and the surgery he had with cancer. in the flat. Smith shakes one tackler, leans forward trying to get more yardage. He'll be ruled down as the ball came out at the 8-yard line.
And he'll receive a general rule of thumb from his coaching staff that don't let that ball get out quite as freely as you are. But Herzlich, like on that play right there, I mean, he's in his passing lane, but we saw him prior to his battle with cancer get up and deflect and bat balls and intercept balls that he deflected. It's just he's not quite back to where he was.
Huge third down here. They need to reach just shy of the 4-yard line for a first down. Ponder for the corner. Out of bounds. Smith protesting the call, thought he had it. Donnie Fletcher was over there, but the ball eluded him.
Fletcher's had a very nice job today of defending plays. Smith with that 6'6" body frame. Nice job by the official there of seeing that call. Foot on the white line and just out.
Yes, it is. So they'll have to go for the field goal try. The crowd booing, don't know why. That's pretty clear, toes on the white line. They're the specialists. And Hopkins. Oh, what a great weapon he has been this year for the Seminoles. Hopkins knocks it through. Florida State extends its lead back to 8 at 17-9. Time of possession, dead even. Plays, dead even. Yards, only 13 apart. The big separation on the scoreboard. We've been waiting for a deep throw all day. There it is into double coverage. Intended for Jonathan Coleman. He was bracketed.
There's more to the story, though. Those offensive numbers, when you dial in and really look at this Boston College team, their last 8 drives, save and except the post big plays where they had those runs, 6 3-and-outs, 65 yards. That's 8 yards a drive. This Florida State defense has just put them in a little box, match box, and shut it down.
8 yards is not a drive. It's not even a drip. Short completion. That'll get about 8 yards.
And at this point here, the way that this game has played out for Coach Spaz in Boston College, if they can just get it to the 4th quarter, which was his goal, in a close game, 1-possession game they've got, don't make mistakes here. Keep leaning on that defense.
Third and 2. They want to throw for it. And just shy. What an effort by Pantelli. Caught the pass, stuck the right arm out there, and is going to come up just short.
Yeah, there's just a lot more urgency in the arm and confidence in each delivery by Reddick. You can't go for it here.
They were thinking about it, weren't they?
Yeah, but then again, you know, hey, we're 3rd quarter. You got to go and punt the football, work on field position.
Florida State trying to hustle people on and off the field. No flags down. And Reed pushed back to the 14-yard line. Trying to get to the outside, shakes a tackler across the 35 to the 37. 23-yard return after a 57-yard punt. Florida State nearly caught with too many men on the field, but they hustled and got them on and off.
Yeah, that'll give you an idea as to why Boston College has been doing the pooch kickoffs, right? They don't want Reed back there returning against
I'd
them.
never kick it to him. Thompson off the left side. Gets the corner, driven out of bounds at the 40. Well, defense has not been a problem for Boston College today or all year. They have distinguished themselves. The offense just hasn't given them a whole lot to work with. Today, they have gotten 3 field goals on drives that if they get touchdowns instead of field goals on that drive, they have the lead in this game. 4.5 minutes to go, third quarter. Ponder, another three-step drop. This one is tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Noel, and he's got a touchdown. 40-yard return by Jim Noel. He had picked off another one and taken it to the house. It was called back by a penalty. And this kid's only playing because the player in front of him was suspended for the game.
Dominic LeGrand suspended. Jim Noel steps up, makes a play, and that ball deflected, we'll show you here in just a minute, by Mark Herzlich to the flat. Let your defense keep doing their job. Punt the football, and your defense comes up finally with a big play.
Since Ponder took him on that great touchdown drive, he has thrown 3 picks.
It's good. Florida State 17.
If they go for 2, they've got a chance to tie. Instead, they kick the extra point. I'm a little surprised by that decision.
Now, don't chase it right now. Just keep playing the game.
That's what a lot of people would say, too early, right?
Yeah, too early. And look at the effort there of Herzlich up in the air. There's that deflected pass that I was talking about in the last series. He's showing that athleticism, which allows his teammate to step up, Jim Noel, for the touchdown. This defense just playing their ball game. Now it's going to put pressure back on Christian Ponder and that offense. They got to get the offensive line running the ball.
Did it get quiet in here all of a sudden?
It did. Parents Weekend, a very shocked crowd right now. And for Florida State, they're in a fight right now. Just win a round.
Reed is deep. They go with another pooch kick to keep it away from him. Pryor is there again. And Pryor drilled it to 30, bounced off that hit, and got up to the 33-yard line. Good tackle.
Kind of what we're talking about when you look at Boston College and the way where they've done since '05. They're always in the hunt. They're in the mix. Now, they've had some good quarterback play along the way.
Haven't they ever?
Outstanding.
You remember Matt
play.
Ryan?
Yeah. And so does everybody else in the ACC.
Yes, sir.
So they're just hopeful that they can get this true freshman, Chase Reddick, or anybody to step up and give them some big plays offensively.
They have used Mascovetra and Shinsky this year, along with Reddick. Shinsky with a concussion, not available today, and they're going to try to get everything they can out of Reddick as that pass is completed to Smith. Jones comes in to tailback, and he'll get the carry, plow straight ahead. About a yard shy of a first down. They need to reach the 46.
Big Hudson, left guard. Rodney Hudson leading up in there again, pulling. At some point, Florida State's going to settle in and say, we're coming at you. We're going to go with this big offensive line that it's about, that's talented, that's had all this praise this week.
That's right.
You know.
210 yards in total offense for Florida State. That is well under what they normally generate, which is 439. But that's because that Boston College defense is pretty darn good. Jones breaks the tackle, has a first down. That is good, hard running.
That's what competition does for you. When you have 3 different running backs who want to play, you're going to run hard and not accept that first hit on you to bring you down.
And
otherwise,
Kuechly is the injured player.
Well, that obviously would be a tough blow to this Boston College defense.
He's got 9 tackles in this game, able to come off under his own power, and couldn't really tell where he was hurt, but he's going to take the helmet off and obviously in some discomfort. And they can only hope they can get him back on the field quickly. Big drive here for Florida State, late third quarter. Got a first down at the 44-yard line. Ponder. Too high, and that was another dangerous throw.
Whew. And you see a trend here, throwing on first down. And this is a team that I know likes to run the football to set up their passing. But several weeks ago against Oklahoma, Ponder had his arm hit, that tricep. You know, remember, he had some issues with that. Missed some practice time.
Very swollen.
Lots of swelling on it, and has not been a problem lately. But it just doesn't seem like today that Ponder has the strength that I've seen him throw with.
Not tremendous zip on the ball for sure. Jones fumble. Ponder got it back, lost it again, and it looks like BC has it. The Boston College Eagles defense is hanging in there, forcing a 4th turnover, and Dominic Scafé.
Ponder's going to ride the back in the hole and just not make a decision whether to not to give it or to keep it and do the quarterback run. And he's just kept it on the hip of that ball carrier too long, and they miscommunicated. Christian's reading the in-man line of scrimmage. Yes, the play might be to pull it. Running back thought he wanted it.
BC down by a point. They have the ball. Harris off the right side, dragging tacklers with him. Still won't go down. Gets to midfield, and a whole host of Seminole defenders have to push him back, but he gained 5.
On the stop, including Dr. Brenner.
Now you go back and when you look at this, it's just there's a read in there. There's a read taking place. The ball carrier kind of wrapped it, almost putting his hands around the ball, thinking he might get it. Ponder's wanting to pull it because he sees that the read tells him keep the football, but it was late, too late. Bad communication.
Montel Harris now has a career high versus Florida State, 182 yards rushing. Got nothing on that one. As a freshman against the Seminoles, he had 121 yards. As a sophomore, 179. Today, 182.
He's a great runner, and he's been consistent, and he's got power. We've seen the speed, not tremendous speed, but breakaway speed enough for what he's done with some ball carries today. That 7.9 average is a strong average when you're playing against Florida State, whether it was last year or this year.
Reddick on 3rd down. Throws on the run and has a completion to Swigert. Bobby Swigert down to the 22-yard line. A gain of 29 yards, and Reddick that time able to step up in the pocket, get away from pressure, and throw a strike to the true freshman out of Louisville.
Remember, Mike, when I told you a couple of plays ago where Reddick looked like he was starting to get his composure with his feet, buying some time before he got hit. He just has more of a presence and a knowledge and an awareness of the game and the situation. He finally steps up, sees the game, sees the field down there, and a receiver, for the first time in this game, gets separation.
Boston College, with 4 big turnovers in this ball game, has a chance to take the lead against number 16 Florida State. The crowd trying to inspire the Florida State defense. We're in a pickle right now. Harris on the draw. Got back to the line of scrimmage and no more. They're in field goal range now, which would give them the lead if they convert. But you know they're thinking touchdown. They have had to settle for 3 field goals already in this game.
Nate Freese, their kicker, had a 49-yarder against Notre Dame, so they've got a leg and a kicker over there. But trading and hoping for 3 against Florida State. Ponder's not going to have a bad game for 4 full quarters. You just expect that he's going to step up somewhere and get it going.
Pressure coming on the blitz. Reddick flattened. Boy, he was just annihilated by Marcus White, who now has 3.5 sacks. The team has 5. This is a club that came in leading the country with 26 sacks.
Watch the middle of the line, how they rush from the middle and kind of contain, while the outside with the blitz and the pressure overwhelms the outside protection.
And Mark Stoops has dialed that one up at the right time, didn't I?
Yes, he did.
Now this could take them right to the edge of field goal range. They've only converted 2 out of 12 third downs in this game. You thinking draw play here?
Yes, draw or screen.
Just even a straight handoff, and Harris with room down to the 21. I think that's a smart call. You don't want to take yourself out of field goal range. You get a few, you make it an easier kick.
No question about it, Mike.
So they'll put it on Nate Freeze, who was already connected on 3. They'll spot it at the 29, so it'll be a 39-yard field goal try. And he got it. And Boston College takes the lead. And they are stunned here in Tallahassee.
Well, Coach Spaz got more than what he was looking for. He not only kept it close in the 4th, he got to the 4th and took the lead.
Freeze had 8 field goals coming in. He's got 4 this afternoon. The Boston College faithful has been waiting for most of the year to see this talented offensive line produce. They have done it today. So has their defense. So has special teams. And right now they lead number 16 Florida State 19-17 with 12:49 left from Tallahassee. Again, a pooch kick. Reed able to run up on it this time. Well, no wonder you don't want to give the ball to this guy. Reese, how good is Reed, the return man for Florida State? He just got a 25-yard return on a pooch kick. You're going to start kicking it out of bounds. They've got it at the 47. You'd be better off doing that. Thompson.
Now, they'll make that adjustment, though, kicking off now that pooch that Florida State's made the adjustment to come up. But the adjustments in this football game, Christian Ponder and the turnovers, should not have thrown that ball underneath and late and slow on that. Mark Herzlich with a deflected batted ball for the touchdown pick 6, and then the botched exchange on the zone read there.
The 2 other times in his career that Christian Ponder has had 4 turnovers, Seminoles have lost, and you would expect to lose if you turn it over 4 times. That was Pryor getting a rare carry and enough for a first down.
But the little things in a close game, like that last kickoff return there, Florida State special team says, okay, look, we want you to come up closer. They've been pooch kicking it. They're trying to keep it away from us, but get up there and don't take it up, man. Let it go to Reed.
Smart. Ponder quick out to Reed, and Reed is just killed by Donnie Fletcher. Holy cow.
This Boston College defense, led by their defensive coordinator, Bill McGovern, has a game plan and an understanding today of what Florida State is trying to do. And Fletcher has played an outstanding ball game from the very get-go.
But that ball's got to get there quicker than that.
And you know, and I tell you what, Ponder's lucky that Fletcher decided to go for the tackle instead of for the football.
Well, Reed is out there counting, knowing he's going to get drilled. A loss of 2, 2nd and 12. Ponder on the reverse to Reed. Burt Reed. Touchdown. yards. If you can't run over them, trick them.
Jimbo Fisher, what an outstanding job of playing call plays against that defense that has just been running and swarming to the football. Boston College fell asleep.
And Reed dives for the goal line and makes it. The point after is good, and the Seminoles have regained the lead. A reverse produces 42 yards after the rushing game for the entire game had produced only 52. We've got a good one in Tallahassee with 10.5 minutes to go. Reed on a 42-yard toss reverse gives the Seminoles the lead back at 24-19. He gains 42 yards. For the rest of the game, the running backs have gained only 52.
And you know what, Mike? That was set up by Reed's kickoff return of 25 yards to midfield.
Another booming kick, 7 yards deep because of their conference schedule. Reddick with time down the middle, and he's got the completion for a first down to Pantelli. That time, they forced the pressure to the outside, and Reddick shows you the arm he's got. 21 on the money.
On the left side, going up the field, and the strength of the receiver to hold on to the football, knowing that the tight end is going to get hit. Pantelli, nice job of helping your freshman quarterback out on a play.
What quarterbacks don't like are guys coming straight up in their face. If you can force that pass pressure to the outside to get good throwing lanes. Harris. And Florida State is just stoning the run. Reese, either one of those pretty good ball games to watch. Harris again. I think Florida State really doing the right thing here. They're crowding the line of scrimmage the way they have been since the third possession of this ball game, saying maybe you can hurt us throwing the ball, but we're not going to let you hurt us running it.
Yeah, this time it's just regular. They stayed at home, nothing fancy about the defensive line. The previous play on first down, they had some movement with the defensive line. So those different looks that they're giving BC's offensive line, taking just a little bit of the aggression out of the blocking that we saw from them early in the game.
Look at the difference. 144 yards first quarter. Since then, 25, and here in this quarter, only 2. Reddick with the blitz coming, throws underneath, incomplete. And again, excellent coverage by Terrence Parks. This secondary in this system of Mark Stoops, you pointed it out early, they are just all over every receiver.
Yeah, 3 weeks ago, I had a chance to sit down and watch film with Stoopsy, and he was trying to explain to me how he's teaching the bracketing and looking and finding receivers. And then once they're on them, sticking to the hip, getting that hand in front for deflections and distractions.
Whatever he's teaching, they're learning. Reed, and again kicking away from one of the nation's best kick returners. 8:04 to go in the game. Florida State with the ball and a 5-point lead. Jimbo Fisher, the pride of Clarksburg, West Virginia, with a chance to run his own program after being so successful as a quarterback coach and an offensive coordinator under guys like Nick Saban in college football. Successful in that role wherever he went, and was the coach in waiting for Bobby Bowden. Jermaine Thomas with the carry, taken down.
And you saw another player for Boston College, Luke Kuechly, back in the game for them.
That's great for them.
You know what? One of the things that has been a negative, we haven't seen many throws from Ponder down the middle of the field. It's been on the outside. So I'm not so certain that Jimbo Fisher wants to throw anything on the outside anymore in this football game. Not been very successful out there.
Each team only has one timeout left on 2nd and 12. We'll see what Ponder does. And Ponder will keep it. Seminoles want to play it safe, and Ponder takes it out across the 25. They need to reach 31 for the first down. Brad Newman made the tackle. He's had a big game for the Eagles of Boston College.
I like the idea of Christian Ponder running the football. The fumble that he had on the previous series where they had the bad exchange there on that zone read, had Ponder been able to get the ball and keep it, would have had a nice run. So his legs might be that one dimension that Boston College can't account for.
And he will not slide, period. He's a tough guy. He's going to go in there head first. And they'll go on the ground to get the first down. Thomas to the 49-yard line. That's huge. BC really needed a stop there.
Yeah, when you really need to get it going, that left guard, Rodney Hudson, he's going to pull around here. Watch what happens when they start filling up in there. Big guy comes around. Hudson creates the lane, turns it. There it is. Everybody's on the next level, blocking from receivers, and eventually you're going to break. Your offensive line, as good as they are, will eventually get it for you.
BC needs a stop, and they need it right now because they only have one timeout left. Ponder after the fake to Reed. He'll keep it. He slid. Ponder must have gone over to Mike Martin's baseball field and said, "Teach me how to do this. I'm getting killed."
Or his mom's been telling him to learn how to slide. I'd say this just, again, this is just a little wrinkle here in the last couple of series where we're seeing Jimbo Fisher wanting to keep the ball into the hands and the running feet of Christian Ponder.
The preseason pick is the ACC Player of the Year, Christian Ponder. Thompson. He's going to be stopped short by a yard, bringing up a huge third down. Clock continues to run, 5:14 and counting.
And you know, for Florida State fans, you know, I know that you might be thinking, oh wow, here, what's going on? But you have to remember, you played a very emotional game last week. This is a 12-game schedule. There will be hiccups along the way. You have to find a way to win ball games like this against an opponent who has a true freshman quarterback, but it has an inspired defense.
Biggest play of the game right here, 3rd and 1. Jones. That's close. First down. Well, I was going to ask, you wouldn't think about going for it, would you? But it's a moot point now.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Jimbo Fisher is glad he didn't have to decide that. But he's put the ball in the hands of his offensive line in this drive, and he said, you know, guys, you've got to go out there. You've got to take control of this thing. With Fisher giving the ball to Ponder and him running, Boston College has not accounted for that.
Florida State one more first down away from wrapping up this game. Ponder will be caught in the backfield and knocked down for a loss at midfield.
Ponder on the keeper.
He did that time. That backside said, okay, look, you might keep it, but we're going to come and we're going to fill in for you. Max Holloway, 56, on the right side of the screen and the right side of the offensive line. He didn't give him a shot to go up the field, and just a good defensive effort. This is a smart, well-coached defense. They will eventually make the adjustments.
Look at the numbers for the Boston College defense, what they have been able to do today. They've done an excellent job against a big-time Florida State offense. And they forced 4 turnovers. Jones, big hole. Jones to the 34-yard line, and that might do it.
This is just the patience of a simple play. It's a zone stretch, and you're going to see the ball carrier stay play side. Offensive linemen lined up next level, doing their job. And it's, again, it's not an impatient runner, but he sticks to the hole, and the offensive line finally is able to open up a pretty good crease in BC.
Boy, Kuechly chasing the play, makes another tackle, but not in time to stop the big gain. And they mark it back just at the 34-yard line, so it's 3rd and a yard. Jones again. Kuechly is right there. I don't think he made it.
Luke Kuechly, not a highly recruited guy, just kind of, you know, okay, come on, and that's been the beauty of this Boston College staff, finding those guys that are the gems.
Well, if this kid wasn't highly recruited, somebody missed the boat, because he's making 14 tackles a game. Leads the country. And less than a yard for Florida State. What do you do, Mr. James?
I play it safe. I look at it and remind myself that there's a true freshman quarterback on the other side of the field. I don't think he can go the distance on my guys. I call something safe. If I don't make it, they're not going to score on me.
Jones is their power back, the tailback, and he'll get the carry. Hit in the backfield. He goes down right at the sticks. I mean, this is going to be close again.
It's the penetration on the inside by Boston College. They win up front. It's just a matter of what the official saw, where he puts the ball.
This looks like a more favorable placement than the last one. which appeared to be short and was a first down. So you've got to guess first down on this one. And it is. And with only 2:11 left, Boston College, after using 2 of their 3 timeouts earlier in this half, can only stop the clock once, and that's not good enough. Heck of an effort by Boston College, though, Craig.
Yeah, you know what I was going to say. You know, moral victories at this point when you have a true freshman quarterback. You're on the road against a very talented, explosive team in Florida State. I think there is such a thing today. This is a building block for his team. Very frustrating, disappointing because the defense played so well, but at least you came in and you competed.
If you're running back, the #1 issue right now, hold on to the ball. Jones is the deep man. These may be quarterback keepers from now on to prevent the exchange from causing a problem. Ponder will give it to Jones, hitting the backfield and taken down.
Jones on the carry.
Let's take a look at our Jeep Drive recap.
And remember, this drive recap was right after the 25-yard short kickoff by Boston College that Burt Reed went out and ran the ball with, and a couple of bad plays now, and it was really like Boston College all over it, being aggressive, and then all of a sudden Jimbo Fisher comes out with a ball play. And Reed takes it to the house for the touchdown and took advantage of a very aggressive defense throughout the day.
You got to call them at the right time, and you've got to execute them. That's the only way the trick plays have an impact in a ball game, and they called it at the right time, and they executed. Jones again inside the 30. Ponder will take a knee. Well, Florida State, a big favorite, but the only thing you could say about them today, they escaped.
And their defense did it for them. 10 pass breakups, 4 sacks, 12 of 38 rush for 38 yards rushes. No gains on a lot of plays. This defense really stepped up for the Seminoles.
Jimbo Fisher sees his team go to 6-1. They have been perfect since the loss at Oklahoma. And Boston College will drop 2 games under 500 as they put up quite an effort here at Doak Campbell Stadium in Tallahassee, but just came up short, 24-19. Final score once again, Florida State 24, Boston College 19. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For Craig James and our entire crew, this is Mike Patrick saying so long from Tallahassee. Now we send you to Reese Davis in the college football studio.